And so what are the plans for the next 5 years?
Like for Clenergy, I mean, playing that 100 plus megawatt space, and we discussed it with our CEO, Daniel Hong. Look, it was an opportunity, but it's a tough business. So we sort of like realign us and the business focus. So we go with smaller systems, and that's like in Germany still whatever comes along, because the market is good. Connection is also different to Australia, but here in Australia we're going more towards sub 30 meg. Exactly as explained. The reason is, as explained in the beginning, connection issues. Like getting a 100 meg project, by now there's not too many sites, like tier one sites available, so you have to be really smart, or then plan long term where you think like an upgrade on the network will happen, and then you just put in some options for sites, sort of like a bit of a crystal ball view, or some call it gamble, but it doesn't cost you much, and then you can build larger projects, or then you're hearing about the ultra large project, but this is not where Clenergy wants to play. So we focus more on the smaller ones, where we can potentially also use in our system, the racking system, and just create synergies internally with the engineering team. That's sort of where I see us. Maybe not 5 years. 5 years is difficult to estimate what will happen, but certainly for the next 2-3 years.
And you mentioned, the introduction now of batteries and even what was the other technology? Hydrogen. So that's hydrogen's becoming a reality now. Is it like as far as utilization on these large commercial projects? Has it started to? Is it displacing batteries, or is it running alongside, or is it still in its infancy? Where's that at?
It is sort of like a different business approach. Batteries will play the role and have done so since now a few years, and definitely more to come. As you know, Clenergy, one of our shareholders, is very strong in lithium-ion batteries over in China. So we see there's certainly also synergies which we can leverage on and deploy it here in Australia. I think like the market for energy storage is still okay here in Australia, whether we're looking at CNI or resi or even utility scale. That needs to be discussed also with that shareholder. But from a hydrogen perspective, that's like your different business approach, where you just need to have like a number of stakeholders lined up. Like it goes into then the question, what do you want to do with hydrogen? Like, is it like for transport? Is it another mode of just storage, and then you utilize it and generate again electricity? This is a bigger question, and here I don't see, like, we all very much like it and want to get involved and get our hands on it, but Clenergy at the moment, I don't think like we're in a position to be involved, but more like from a general position, Australia will certainly, and you're hearing a lot about hydrogen. Arena just made an announcement, I think it was yesterday, 7 projects were awarded. There's so much discussion happening, and sort of like gains a lot of momentum. Not only like over in Germany, for example, they just announced a massive hydrogen roadmap with a lot of cash behind, and Europe is very much pushing hydrogen, and other countries follow as well. So I think like here there's certainly more deployment necessary and cost reduction definitely to get us to a certain point, but it's exciting to see what's happening and that momentum the technology gains.